Volume is on. When it starts.
الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا ومولانا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد اللهم صل على محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين ولعنة الله على أعدائهم إلى قيام يوم الدين. Assalamu alayka ya Abu Abdullah. The month of Muharram and Safar are time periods for us to reflect and connect to Imam Hussein alayhi salam. It truly is a treasure for us, and if only we knew the worth of how great mourning for Imam Hussein alayhi salam is and how important it is in causing and shaping the future. Yesterday we talked about 3 different ways to look at the mourning of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, the Azadari. One is by looking at Imam Hussein alayhi salam not as just a limited human being that lived during a certain time period and passed away during a certain time period. We gave the example of the great Shaheed and scholar Ayatollah Muhammad Baqir al-Sadr. And I brought the Arabic tonight here because I thought it was better when we read it. It says, لَيْسَ الإمام الحسين عليه السلام ليس إنسانا محدودا عاش من سنة كذا واستشهد في سنة كذا. He is not a normal person or a limited person where he lived during a certain time period and passed away during a certain time period. Al-Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam huwa al-Islam. Imam Hussein is Islam. Maybe you never heard of this expression, how beautiful it is. Imam Hussein is Islam. If I ask you, what is Islam? Say Imam Hussein. And then he says, kakul, as if all of it. Hussein alayhi salam is all of Islam, all of our religion. وَهُوَ كُلُّ الْأَهْدَافِ, and he is all of the goals of Islam. وَضُحِيَ مِنْ أَجْلَهَا, and he was slaughtered because of it. So very beautifully he depicts Imam Hussein in a way that you cannot compare him to any other human being besides Rasulullah, his Imam Ali, Lady Fatima, Imam Hassan alayhi salam, that you're talking about. You talk about all of Islam, the display of Islam. So you cannot compare his slaughter, his being martyred with anyone else. 2, we said that Imam Hussein's plea for help. On the day of Ashura, he asked, is there anyone to assist me? And we compared this to Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam's call when he built the Mecca, when he built Kaaba. And he asked, and he says, Halumul Hajj, come towards Hajj. We says this is singular, meaning, oh mankind, come for Hajj. Not Halummu ila al-Hajj, oh you in front of me, in plural, come to Hajj. Every man, mankind in general, come towards Hajj. And whoever goes to Hajj is saying labbaik. It's answering the call of Prophet Ibrahim. So the call of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, as we read in Ziyarat, we say, labbaik da'i Allah. We are here. Labbaik means I'm at your service. I'm responding. I'm here at your service, the one who calls from Allah. Brothers and sisters, tonight you're here for Imam Hussein. You have answered the call of Imam Hussein that has been called for 1400 years ago. It is a call every time, every year, Muharram, Safar, every time. Imam Hussein alayhi salam is calling you. And the last thing we said, these majalis for Imam Hussein alayhi salam, what is the purpose of these? Just to wear black, to cry and say, okay, very good Muharram. I fed lots of people, very good, this is very good. But what is the purpose, we said, when you put these two together, when Imam Hussein alayhi salam is all of Islam, when Imam Hussein alayhi salam is calling us, what does it mean? It means that there is a goal, and that goal is to provide and to raise soldiers and companions of the Imam of the age, to do tarbiyat, and you're not even maybe necessarily noticing it, but you are becoming closer to Imam al-Zaman in this majlis without even thinking about it. How much did you learn from the majlis of Imam Hussein? Who has taught you Islam? Most times your parents. It has come from generation to generation. That is why this Muharram and Safar are so important. This is when we learn about our religion. When you think about how many sins, God forbid, or how much neglectfulness there is in the other time periods, when Muharram and Safar come, we become awake again, we become alive again. How powerful is it that right now there are 20 million people around, walking towards the shrine of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. And they're reading a Ziyarat Ashura, many of us read. The 2 times it mentions the Imam of the age, talks about the vengeance that the Imam of the age will have. Now some say, where's this vengeance? How does it happen? Some of the traditions talk about the raj'ah and the return. The tradition is a nice tradition. It talks about all of kufr, all of disbelief coming back to life, and all of iman coming back to life. Raj'ah means the return. And that those that killed Imam Hussein alayhi salam will be brought back, and the Imam will seek vengeance. You know, side note is that when you look at Imam Mahdi Ajjallahu Ta'ala Farajahu Sharif, there's a very good book I want you to look at, Mikyalul Makarim. Mikyalul Makarim has different attributes of why we should do dua for Imam Zaman, the fawaid, the benefit, the reason why I make dua for Imam Zaman. He says alif, ba, ta in Arabic, it goes forth. And this book has been translated in English, it's in Al-Islam. In one of those under Qaf, if you look at Qaf, there's Qatilu Iblis. You should do dua for the Imam of the age because he will slay Iblis. Some of the traditions say Rasulullah, but this tradition is Qaf, is Qatilu Iblis. He will take Iblis, slaughter him. He will take those, we said Raja is Kufr mahd and Iman al-mahd will be brought forth, and will seek revenge of Imam Hussein. Some say that maybe this vengeance is done by the descendants of Yazid, and there will be those that will be like Yazid in the future, and he will slaughter them. Third, it is possibly those that are happy and satisfied. They're happy and satisfied with the killing of Imam Hussein, and he will break and shatter that ideology. But keep this in mind, another side note, that unfortunately many of us have portrayed the Imam of the age just to slaughter everyone and kill everyone, especially unfortunately the scholars. They sometimes they joke and say, I'll kiss this part where Imam Mahdi's sword will be hitting, for example. These traditions are weak. Of course, we fight against these traditions, but these traditions are weak. Second of all, we talk about the Imam. When you look at, there's a nice book, another book I'm telling you to read, is Ayatollah Seyed Munir Khabbas, one of the students of Ayatollah Sistani, Ayatollah Tabrizi, who's moved recently to Najaf. He has books that have been recently translated, his lectures translated in English. He has his book of Al-Imam al-Mahdi. You can buy it on Amazon, they sell it. He says this perception we have of the Imam is wrong, that he's just going to kill and destroy. He says that Imam is the descendant and successor of Rasulullah, who is rahmatun lil alameen. This depiction of the Imam of just slaughtering and killing is wrong. He says even when it comes to people like the Sufyani, descendant of Abu Sufyan, someone who's his arch enemy of Imam Mahdi, he says that he will call for him, he will come and try to guide him, he will speak to him and give him a chance. It's not like he will take his holy sword and slash him right away. He even gives Sufyani a chance. If he gives Sufyani a chance, what about the rest of the world? Or he gives others 3 days to think and gives them arguments, for example, to look and believe. So therefore, you see that it's very important to connect the third thing. So remember, 3 things we talked about, the majlis of Imam Hussein. 1, Imam Hussein is all of Islam. 2, Imam Hussein alayhi salam, when we look at, the depiction of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, he has a call that happened 1400 years ago and it's today calling us. 3rd, the purpose of these majalis is that it does tarbiyat, it causes nur and light, and if you truly want to be a companion of the Imam of the age, the only way is to cry for Imam Hussein, to connect to Imam Hussein. That will be the closest to Imam Zaman. The best companion of the Imam is who, if I ask you? Who is the best companion of Imam of the age? The one who is closest to the Imam of the age. What is the Imam doing? What did the Imams do for Imam Hussein alayhi salam? They cried. Look at Ziyarat Nahiya, some attribute to the Imam of the age, maybe to Imam Hassan Askari alayhi salam is more accurate, but I'll cry day and night for you. Instead of blood, instead of tears, I will cry blood. Or you see Imam Rida alayhi salam, that he mentions that your musibat has caused our eyelids to become damaged. Or he tells Ibn Shabib, for example, if you cry for something, cry for Hussein alayhi salam, فَإِنَّهُ ذُبِّحَ كَالْكَبْشِ. He was martyred, I apologize for saying his arba'in, he was slaughtered like a kabsh, a ram. A ram, how is it slaughtered? They take their hands. Some of the traditions I was reading says Imam Hussein was slaughtered from a qafa, the back of the neck. So these are realities that their Imams cried, they connected, and Imam Hussein goes into your heart, and then you become a companion of the Imam of the age. You see the slogans. What are the slogans of the companions of the Imam of the age? Ya ala tharat al-Hussein, you see, and they're from the youth. They're from the young people. Today, imagine 20 million going to Arba'in, commanding justice, commanding that oppression is enough. How powerful is this? Ready to help the Imam. So these majalis that we have to take it very serious. There were time periods that these gatherings were not allowed. Some of my friends, they do tabligh in Malaysia. I don't know if anyone here went to Malaysia or not. He told me, he's a scholar, he says, when we went to Malaysia, the person there told me that we're having majalis this year in homes, secretly, but still we're going to court cases for last year's Muharram still, because it's illegal in Malaysia. Countries even like Iran, there was a time period where Reza Khan did not allow the remembrance of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. And they would have to have it privately at 12 at night in a Shia, predominantly Shia country, 12 at night, and put someone in the, on the street to make sure if a police agent or someone would come, they would cancel the majlis of Imam Hussein. They came to one of the supreme scholars, Ayatollah Abdul Karim Ha'iri, who is the founder of the Hawza Ilmiya al-Qom, the Islamic Seminary of Qom. He was losing his mind. He was so upset that how can in Iran, a Shia nation, cancel the majlis of Imam Hussein? It's illegal. He was losing it. And they came to him and they said, Shaykhuna, for example, dear Shaykh, Haj Agha, this is not something wajib. Maybe it made sense. It's not wajib, it's not obligatory. Do you have to cry for Imam Hussein? Do you have to have majlis for him? Is it wajib? He says, it's not wajib, it's mustahab. He answered this way, mashallah, this great scholar. He answered this way. He said, it is mustahab, it's recommended. It's a recommended act that is holding up 1,000 wajibat. A recommended act that is holding up 1,000 obligatory. It's holding up all of Islam. Please recite salawat ala Muhammad wa alihi. Especially those that are, in the front of the masjid, you can do more salawat. Allahumma. So this majlis of Imam Hussein is not child's play. This is shaping the future. The future will be with the azadar of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. This is the future. This is what we know from the hadith. They will claim Ya Tharatul Hussein. They will help Imam Zaman, and they will be successful in doing something that no prophet ever did. No prophet ever had control of the entire earth. Even no evil person had control of the entire earth. If you look at it, maybe the British had 30-40% of the world when they colonized. The US, maybe 60-70% of countries have military bases. But no empire ever controlled the entire earth. But the Imam of the age will, and he'll do it by the help of the criers and mourners of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. I ask you today, very important, because we're talking about reformation, and that is our topic. Those that just came in, our topic is about Islah, reformation, changing. Imam Hussein alayhi salam gives the letter to Muhammad Hanafiya, his brother, أني لم أخرج أشرا ولا بطرا ولا مفسدا ولا ظالما. I have not come to cause, for example, corruption or evil, tyranny. إنما خرجت لطلب الإصلاح. I have come to cause reformation, to change. The prophets, the imams came to change society. I ask you tonight, today was the day of Friday. Some of the traditions say the dhuhr happens on Friday. Some say Saturday even. Let's say Friday. How many of us, you can maybe, it's okay, just raise your hands. How many of you today did Dua Nutbah? How many, except for, mashallah, but a few. How many of you did Ziyarat Ali Yasin, for example? How many did one dua for Imam Zaman? So when we talk about Islah, one of the first things that has to happen in the youth is that you have to remember the Imam of the age. You can't be ghafil, you can't neglect him. How are you going to sacrifice your life for him? How are you going to give all your money for him when you can't even remember him? I'm telling myself. A practice that we must have is you must remember the Imam of the age. They came to Ayatollah Misbah Yazdi. They came to him, some youth, and asked him, give us advice. After all, philosophy, kalam, fiqh, studying Bahth al-Kharij with Ayatollah Bahjat, for example, others. He says this, he says, my advice is to remember the Imam of the age. Remember Imam Mahdi. He says, I do not know of anything better than this for you. Then he says, if you know something better than remembering Imam Mahdi, tell me, teach me, show me. If you know anything better than remembering Imam al-Zaman, tell me. Then he says this easily. He says, just remember him. I'm not saying make a ziyarah, do a salawat. I'm just just remember him right now. You're in the majlis of Imam Hussein. Remember, there's a connection from Imam Hussein to Imam Zaman. You're crying for Imam Hussein. Allah gives barakat to you and says, okay, he deserves it. Let him remember Imam Zaman. Because it's barakat, tawfiq. The worst tawfiq, when Allah takes away all my barakat, is when I am neglectful of the Imam. So he says, remember him a little bit. Remember him right now, remember him. If you can, he says, say salam to him. It's wajib for him to say salam back to you. He hears. Ayatollah Bahjah says, before your own ear hears, the Imam of the age hears. Say salam to him. Say salawat for him. Those who, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. MashaAllah, thank you so much for that. So, remembering the Imam, saying salam to him, very important. One thing I advise you, some people here might have deceased family members, either their father, their mother, maybe their grandparents. And one of the barakat that Allah gave us is that He didn't give death equally to everyone at the same time. People die in stages. Somebody died in, for example, 1800, someone died in 1900, someone dies in 2000. But He allows children to seek forgiveness for their parents. It's the mercy of Allah. He allows children to do hajj for their parents that never did hajj. He allows children to do the salat that the parents never did salat. My advice to you, when you have family members, especially even if your parents are alive, Allah protect them for you, for your grandparents, if they're alive, protect them, but for your ajdad, recite Quran for them. When you recite Quran, recite one hamd for your parents, 1 and 3 Qul Huwallahu Ahad. That's equal, 3 Qul Huwallahu Ahad is equal to recitation of the Quran. This came to my mind. You know, my mother has passed away. I said, as long as I'm alive, I'll try to remember 1 hamd at least and 3 Qul Huwallahu Ahad for. And then I studied in the house, so Allah made me a little bit more sharper. So I said, let me make this a little bit stronger. Let me get, be a smart akhun, for example. Akhuns are smart. Let me do this for the mother of Imam Zaman. Let me give the hamd and the 3 Qul Huwallahu Ahad for the mother of Imam Zaman. So he will see, wow, he did Quran for my mother. Let me make dua for his mother. See, this is being smart. Mu'min kayyis. Mu'min is smart. Do things for the mother of the Imam of the age. Watch what will happen. Then you'll get barakat. Then he will bless your mother. He'll bless your father. This is called tawassul, meaning you take one action which is normal, but I connect it to the Imam of the age and it becomes stronger. It becomes stronger. Tawassul is not wajib, but do you want it to be stronger? Do you want it to be accepted? Maybe my Quran is not accepted, but now I do it for the mother of the Imam of the age. Maybe now it's accepted. Let's recite salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad for the mother of the Imam of the age. So my plea to you as youth growing up, myself, I grew up in the West, is to not forget the Imam of the age, especially on Fridays. And promise yourself, if next Friday comes, do not forget it. Our great leaders, when it's the afternoon of Friday, which just happened a few hours ago, that is when they do ziyarat ala Yasin. That ziyarat, some parts of it, it's so beautiful. Some parts of it is this. As-salamu alayka hina taqum. As-salamu alayka hina taq'ud. As-salamu alayka hina taqra'u wa tubayyin. I say salam to you when you stand. I say salam to you, Imam Zaman, when you sit. Possibly this is talking about the salat of the Imam. Imagine the Imam of the age is doing salat, saying, I'm doing salat to you when you stand, the beautiful salat of Imam Mahdi. The salat of Imam Zaman, you say salam to him when he sits. Assalamu alaikum when you're reciting wa tubayyin. Assalamu alayka hina tusalli wa taqnut, when you're doing salat and you're doing qunut. I say salam to you then. So you remember me, inshallah. Assalamu alayka hina tarka wa tasjud. I say salam to you, Imam Zaman, when you are in ruku and when you are in sujood. Imagine the best sujood that is happening on earth ever. I say salam to you then. Imagine what would happen if we lived our lives in a way that we would become Imam al-Zamani. And that is what we said, the entire purpose of the majlis of Imam Hussein is to learn from the principles, to become a soldier of Imam Zaman, to learn from the morals of the stories of Ashura, and to do Islah, to change. Brothers and sisters, many of us today, we are trying to decide how to live our lives. Some are trying to decide which way, the modern way, the way that is more comfortable, the way, for example, if everyone else does something, I continue, or should I live it according to the Sharia, the laws, the legislation of Islam? We always come into contradiction. They tell us something is haram. I like to do that action. It's too hard for me. I'm always in this, this decision-making process, which one of these to choose. Many people say it's easy, it's hard. Many people say it's very easy to change Islam, but to look and change the rulings. And if you want to be a popular lecturer or speaker, change the rulings, see how much people love you. Say you can shake hands. Yeah, shake hands with no mahram, it's fine. Do it as much as you want, it's okay. Oh, I love you, Shaykh. I love you, Seyed. MashaAllah, you're the best. Listening to music, it's halal now. If you really want people, the youth, to love you, Salatul Fajr. It's not wajib anymore. It was 1400 years ago, it was wajib. For you, it's haraj, it's difficulty to wake up. You're going to ruin the rest of your day. You're going to have economic loss. You're going to miss out on school. Everyone would follow you, become the best marriage or taqleed ever. To make Salatul Fajr, not wajib anymore. So people have always come to the prophets and imams and they said, change your way, we don't want to change. You need to do Islah. Religion needs to do Islah. You don't need to change. But the prophets and imams will say, no, society, you need to change. You need to reform. Prophet Shu'aib alayhi salam, he gave his example. He is one of the different prophets where he used the word Islah, reformation, and he told the people you need to reform in two areas. One is belief, you need to be monotheistic. Two is an economic practice. You have to be fair, you can't cheat people. We talked about it yesterday. This is when the scale came. Some of the traditions say measuring things and weighing them and selling them came during the time of Prophet Shu'aib. So we need to learn not to be like those Muslims that say religion has to change. Even though sometimes we don't understand the ruling. Sometimes they ask, what is the philosophy, for example, of wearing gold? Why is gold haram for men? Maybe I don't have a very clear answer for this right now. But does it mean that I should not follow it? Let's think of it rationally. If I understood by my mind every Islamic rule, we say all Islamic rules have goodness in it, is forbidding corruption. But if I understood all the maslahat and goodness and all the mafsada and the haram, then why would I need religion? I would find it out myself and everyone would find it out. We wouldn't have so many different philosophies and worldviews. Obviously, I cannot find it out by myself, so I need revelation. I don't know the answer right now. The Imam of the age will tell me. But it's like a person, for example, wants to be a firefighter. They can choose to become a firefighter. That's up to them. They research, says, yes, I hate fire and I want to fight against it, for example. But once they become a firefighter, oh, they love fire. Says, I love fire. There's smoke. So I'm coming down, once you become a firefighter, you can't change the rules. You have to go down the pole, for example. You can't use the stairs. Some rules maybe. Or you have to leave the fire trucks open. You can't close them. So you can jump in, for example. I know something about firefighting, for example. So once you become a firefighter, you have to follow the rules, but you can decide, I don't want to be a firefighter. Same thing with Islam. You can decide, I don't want to be a Muslim. It's up to you, and we're supposed to decide by ourselves that this is the only monotheistic religion. And Shiism is the only truly monotheistic school of thought, way of life, the Tawheed that we have. So I choose, I say I am a Muwahhid, I'm a Shia follower of Ahlul Bayt, alayhim salam. But now when it comes to the rulings, I do not question the rulings. Even if I don't understand it, I still follow. Because the philosophy of ruling sometimes are explained, sometimes the wisdom is explained, and sometimes we don't have any narration. What do I do then? I am patient, I submit to the will of Allah. Maybe it's a test. Let's just say this, even though this doesn't apply to us. The test of Prophet Ibrahim to slaughter his son, Ismail, was just a test. There's no mafsada or masla in that. Just a test to test him. And at the end, he never did slaughter Prophet Ismail alayhi salam. But it was a test to see who submits. Allah is looking at us to see who is going to submit to His will, who's going to be the abd. Al-Islam huwa taslim. Islam is nothing but submission. Hadith from Imam Ali alayhi salam. So when it comes to reformation, we have to reform ourselves. Not that Islam has to change and become, have you gone to an all-you-can-eat buffet? For example, soup plantation before it went out of business. You choose the tomatoes, but I don't like, for example, carrots. I don't choose the carrots. I choose the lettuce now. I like the beans. I choose whatever I like. Those parts I don't like, I take out. Quran mentions about people who do this. They believe in part of the book and they reject of the other. It's as if they have rejected all of Islam, all of the deen, all of the book. Tonight I'm going to leave with these 5 points and we'll begin to talk about these inshallah tomorrow night. I don't want to make it too long so that, you curse me or something like that under your breath. I don't want that to happen. I'll make it short. 5 stages of change. Some of the psychologists, when it talks about change, we said Ashura is here to change us. And the highest, the maximum, is to be a companion of the Imam of the age. 5 steps of change. First is pre-contemplation. And that is that in this stage you're not thinking you have a problem, so changing is not on your radar screen. The first part is many people don't even know that they have to change. They think they're good. And why do you think that's so? Why do people think they're good? Because we have hubbun nafs, we love ourselves. When I have bad breath, myself, it doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me. But if somebody else has bad breath, oh God, leave me, for example, stop, use a miswak, for example, brother, do something, right? So we have hubbun nafs, something that has unpleasant, that's from me, it's fine. But if it's from somebody else, God forbid, it's not fine. When I look at my own faults, I don't have any faults. Right now, think of your own faults. I don't have it. But like, for example, think of the person next to you, for example, his faults, or whatever. You start giving a list. Oh, look at his hair, look at his style, look at his clothes, look at this, what's that? Look at his hat, it's crooked all the time, for example, whatever, his Abbas. You start criticizing because you are so nice to yourself. You are too kind to yourself. That's why you should judge yourself in a way as if you're judging someone else. Or the traditions say judge yourself before they judge you. So the first step in change means that look in the mirror and be fair to yourself and see, what am I lacking? And that is why over and over in Islamic ethics it says to do muhasaba and count or reflect or look at yourself and see what are your faults. Look at that. The problem that hadith has, you're always looking at the uyub of the people, the faults of the people, but that person doesn't look in the mirror. So number 1 is pre-contemplation. Try to find the faults that you have. If you do not know them, and naturally we said we have hubbun nafs, we love, بَلْ يُرِيدُ الْإِنسَانِ لِيَفْجُرَ أَمَامَهُ. Insan loves what to be in front of him, to be opened. Insan loves to be free. Insan doesn't like to be restricted. Mankind does not like to be harsh on himself, for example. He likes that what is in front of him to be open, to do whatever he wants, to continue the same path. That is why the corrupt are so corrupt, because they don't look in the mirror. First step for change, inshallah, is majalis. I'm talking to myself more than anyone else. I need the most amount of Islam. Is look at the faults that I have. See, what do I want to change? Is it me and my family, for example, how I treat my family? Is it what I do for a job? Maybe it's haram, maybe it's not right. Is it when it comes to, investment? Maybe when it comes to school, when it comes to my friends, when it comes to worship. You have to be complete in all realms. And some people are very good at the masjid, they're not good at home. Some people are very good with their friends, they're not good with wife, they're not good with husband. All of this, or children. What is my fault? Am I a good parent? Am I a good, for example, grandparent? Am I a good son? Am I a good, all these different aspects. Tonight, think about it. Think about it, reflect and see, well, how can I change? Unless you come to this and say, I need to change, you will never change. You'll never change. Say, I'm good. Alhamdulillah, I'm the best mu'min in SABA, for example. SABA Center is so lucky to have me worship here. Because of my barakat, I do dua here. SABA is so big because of me, for example. They don't think like that. This is one of the biggest flaws when it comes to believers. When it comes to Muslims, sometimes this worship makes us arrogant and we stop seeing our faults. I gave this joke, I'll say it again. There's this lady that she was worshiping Allah over and over doing salat. This old lady. Sometimes older people, they fall into riyah. They're showing off. She was doing salat and salat and salat, and they were talking, together. These two people said, look at her, look at this lady. MashaAllah, she's going. She's not stopping, she's praying, she's on a roll. Or they say she's on fire, for example. And then she hears this and says, oh, you don't know, in the middle of salat, I'm fasting too. I'm fasting as well. You didn't know. That's our problem. We think we're the best. We think we're the best of the companions. We're already part of the 313. Nobody, don't tell anyone. The second is contemplation. Contemplation means that you know you have that problem. Now you're thinking how to solve it, how to remove it. Am I a jealous person? Whenever I come to the masjid, I look at the cars and I see whoever has a nice, I get so jealous of that person. The jealousy a lot of times happens when you don't have that power, ability to do better. I see their way of life. I'm working 9 to 5. This guy's always on vacation. Where are you? He says, I'm in this ziyarat and that ziyarat. I'm here, I can't even leave. I don't even have a passport. I get jealous. Or, if this person has so many children, Allah does not give me a child, for example. So unless I come and I prepare myself, I say, okay, this jealousy, I'm going to start to remedy it. How can I remedy it? The second step is now the third, preparation. Now you are getting ready. So from now on, when I hear that a brother has a blessing from Allah, I'm going to say, Alhamdulillah, thank Allah. I'm going to make dua for him. I'm going to submit. I understand, I start reading, for example, prepare myself. How am I going to deal with this problem? I'm going to read these books, speak with people about it. I'm going to make it shorter. Fourth is action. Now, from now on, I promise myself, I'm not going to continue to do this action. I will never be a jealous person anymore. And the fifth is maintenance. Even if you do, for example, become jealous a few times, you still have maintenance. Says, oh, that was wrong. I'm going to stop that behavior. I'm going to go back to not being a jealous person. So these are 5 steps. I'm going to say it again. We'll end tonight, continue tomorrow. Pre-contemplation. So I have to know that there's a problem. 2, contemplation. I think about it. Preparation. I'm thinking about how to treat, what is the best treatment model for this. 4th, action. I begin to work against that specific negative trait that I have. And the 5th is maintenance. And that's why the tradition says, "Udu anfusakum ila al-khair." Get yourselves accustomed to khair, because the beginning is hard. Then you get rid of this trait, rid of this action, rid of this sin, whatever it is, whatever is keeping you away from the Imam of the age. Then you separate this and you see, now it's good, alhamdulillah, I'm rid of this bad problem that I had, and I work on the next problem, and this is how you progress. Remember, until you realize that we have a limited amount of time on earth, and that we have in value, in a priceless capital called life, that should not be traded with anything that is not worthy of being traded. It has to be traded with something that is worthy for the hereafter. We will not change ourselves. You have to know that we're limited here, and that we are built and created for kamal and perfection, and that this perfection will last for us in eternity. And then one day we will regret. One day you will say, I wish I would have worked on myself more. I wish I would have worked harder in this world, because the day of judgment is a day of hasra, regret. So inshallah, may Allah make us of the followers of the Imam of the age, separate sin from us, inshallah. Make us a true azadar of Imam Hussein, one who really his actions, his traits is like the companions of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. May Allah have rahmah on our departed, give shafa for all those who are looking for a cure, give peace inshallah in Gaza, and expedite the return of the Imam of the age with a salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. We're going to start the musibat. After the musibat's over, we're going to do latmiya. And those that want to stick around, we're going to have some Q&A. I sometimes recommend Slido because you could do anonymous questions. So I'll open up a Slido. You can send in your anonymous questions and I'll read it, inshallah, and answer after our azadari, inshallah. We can dim the lights. We ask Allah, inshallah, to give us tears for Imam Hussein, because one of the great bounties of Allah is that He allows you to cry for Imam Hussein. He gives you a soft heart, not a hard heart, one that is connected to Imam Hussein alayhi salam. We're going to do tawassul of the brother of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. That when some of the scholars and ulafa came to become close to Allah, they were told to go to this shrine. The shrine in the person who's also labeled Bab al-Hawa'ij, the door of the acceptance of prayers of Hazrat Abbas. It is the day of Ashura. It is time for Imam Hussein alayhi salam to bid farewell to his family members. One of his very close and beloved brothers is Hazrat Abbas. Hazrat Abbas comes to Imam Hussein alayhi salam the day of Ashura. He's a champion. He's very strong. If you look in the battle of Siffin, what Hazrat Abbas did. Now he comes to Imam Hussein alayhi salam and mentions that my heart is in pain. My chest is in pain. I have to go. I have to go and fight. Some of the maqtal say now, Imam Hussein alayhi salam says, before you fight, go and bring water for my family members. So Hazrat Abbas is commanded with this duty of quenching the thirst of the little ones of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. And maybe then Lady Ruqayya, Lady Sukaina, maybe now they're hearing that Hazrat Abbas is coming to get water. Maybe they're very hopeful that for sure he would get water. He very bravely comes to the Al-Ghama. He's about to scoop water and drink, but he thinks of the thirst of Imam Hussein alayhi salam and his family, and some of the maqtal says that he takes that water and brings it and drops it back to the river. He wants to die the thirst, the martyrdom of the thirsty one. Those that did not have any water, they say, are three people: Imam Hussein, Lady Zainab, Hazrat Abbas. Things were so dire that they say the family of Imam Hussein, the children, would put their bare stomachs on the sand. Possibly places where the flasks were dripping their last drop, they would put their stomach on the flask because this pain of thirst is unbearable. Hazrat Abbas takes from his flask and scoops it up and puts water in the flask and begins his journey to come back. They find out that Hazrat Abbas has gotten water. They begin to shoot arrows at him. They shoot arrows, but his mission is to come back and bring the flask to Imam Hussein alayhi salam. They shoot and they fire arrows, and then they come and they strike one arm of Hazrat Abbas. The arm falls, and they say he takes the flask and puts it on his left. They shoot and they swipe against the left arm, separating it. Those who have been to Karbala know that if you want to do ziyarat of Hazrat Abbas, that the body, the soul is there at the shrine. But you have to go somewhere else for the right arm, for the right hand, somewhere else for the left hand. Here, Hazrat Abbas, they say, takes, without any arms, takes the flask of water with his hand, with his teeth. And he's continuing his journey because the mission of Imam Hussein alayhi salam that he was commanded was to bring back water for his family. And he wanted to do this. There they say that they give Hazrat Abbas, they shoot an arrow at his chest. Hazrat Abbas comes down. I apologize for saying this, dear brothers, sisters, Sadat, that your champion, your warrior Hazrat Abbas, when he fell, possibly with the same dhikr that Imam Ali said when he fell, Bismillah wa billah wa ala millati Rasulullah, the same dhikr that when Imam Hussein alayhi salam said, Bismillah wa billah wa ala millati Rasulullah, when he's falling, Hazrat Abbas is the only one that does not have arms. How does a person from a tall horse, riding fast, to bring water back for the family of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, how does he break his fall when he does not have arms? How does he fall? He falls face first. I apologize. The son of Amir al-Mu'mineen, the champion, our champion now, falls face first. There they come and they hit Hazrat Abbas so hard that here is where his soul is separated. He cries for Imam Hussein alayhi salam, and Imam Hussein alayhi salam at that time says, Al-an inkasara dhahri, right now, my back has become broken. This is one of the times that Imam Hussein completely shed tears and cried for Hazrat Abbas, because this is the time that his back has been broken. This dear Abbas that he remembered, that was always loyal, the Abbas that was like his mother Ummul Baneen, that she told Abbas to go with Imam Hussein and do not come back with Imam Hussein. This is Hazrat Abbas. Now Imam Hussein says, record Maqtal Al-an inkasara dhahri, the back of Imam Hussein alayhi salam has been broken. Inna lillah, inna alayhi raji'un. Matam al-Hussein.
Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, come forward inshallah, please inshallah. Abul Fadl Ya Abbas, Abul Fadl Ya Abbas, Abul Fadl Ya Abbas, Abul Fadl Ya Abbas. Your voice says, and come forward, Abul Fadl Ya Abbas, Abul Fadl. What is that going? Enjoy support with it. Abul Fadl Ya Abbas, Abul Fadl. Come fill out this area. Abul Fadl Ya Abbas, Abul Fadl Ya Abbas. This corner, right here. Abul Fadl Ya Abbas. Abul Faz, I still can't let you ride, bearer of my flag, power, all majesty and pride. You're my backbone, please stay by my side. Relic of my father, I'd be broken if you died. Bloody soil, bloody swords and bloody turbans. Abul Fadl Ya Abba, my turn. Pouring out on the sand is a water skin. Abul Fadl, Ya Abbas. Master, when will I see your face again? Abul Fadl, Ya Abbas. Call me brother, oh Abbas, for this is the end. Abul Fadl, Ya Abbas. Abul Fadl, Ya Abul Fadl, Ya Abbas. Abul Fadl, Ya Abbas. Abul Fadl, Ya Abbas. Abul Fadl, Ya Abbas. Abul Fadl, Ya Abul Fadl, Ya. On the day when the blood stains covered me, nothing but the face of my Imam would comfort me. I left my sword because my Mawla ordered me, and walked the path of love that annihilated me. This blood of mine flowing like an ocean to you, Abul Fadl, Ya Abbas, is all I have to offer devotion to you, Abul Fadl, Ya. Paradise is this face of yours in front of me, Abul Fadl, Ya Abbas. Your approval means that like Hor I am free, Abul Fadl, Ya Abbas. 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 Abul Fadl. Every man has a chance to show himself. Sometime in his life he will come to know himself. Good or bad, when the call is to Islam, some of us will stand, only some of us respond. Oh Hussein, your Abbas hears you calling. Abul Fadl, Ya Abbas. In the middle of the desert, burdened by, in the middle of the desert, bare and bloody, Abul Fadl, Ya Abbas. And the shrieks of women who are screaming, Abul Fadl, Ya Abbas. He'll answer you and he will be stopped by nothing, Abul Fadl, Ya Abbas. Abul Fadl, Ya Abul Fadl, Ya Abbas. Abul Fadl, Ya MashaAllah. Abul Fadl, Ya Abbas. Abul Fadl, Ya Abbas. Abul Fadl, Ya Abbas. Abul Fadl, Ya. The world around us knows no right and no wrong. It seems children who see shelter only in a elusive dream. And Islam, the religion of and Islam, the religion of your brother, is on the tongues of people as if it were a disease. This religion's asking you to revive it, Abul Fadl, Ya Abbas. Please don't wait, Islam won't survive it, Abul Fadl, Ya Abbas. You showed us that we need not fear their swords, Abul Fadl, Ya Abbas. Please come and show us that we need not fear their words, Abul Fadl, Ya Abbas. Abul Fadl, Ya Abbas. Abul Fadl, Ya Abul Fadl, Ya Abbas. Abul Fadl, Ya Abul Fadl, Ya Abbas. Abul Fadl. Out on the field, I swear, out on the field, I swear I saw Ali riding to bring water back to his thirsty family. He was tall and his face struck on me, holding that water skin and fighting desperately. In Karbala, Bani Hashem's lost in full moon. Abal Fadi ya Abbas. In Karbala, Bani Hashem's lost its full moon. Abal Fadi ya Abbas. You will meet the Prophet's family so soon. Abal Fadi ya you want to know if Fatima is proud of you, Abal Fadi ya Abbas. She was with pride, for you did all a son can do. Abal Fadi ya Abbas, Abal Fadi ya Abbas, Abal Fadi ya Abal Fadi ya Abbas, Abal Fadi ya MashaAllah, Abal Fadi ya Abal Fadi ya Abbas, Abal Fadi Abal Fadi ya Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. How do we bear to see him up past the fallen moon? How do we bear to see him up past the fallen moon? Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. With me, inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Bear to see him up past the fallen moon. How do we bear? Don't do offbeat, okay? Do with me. When you rhythm to it. Don't just tap, 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 tap. Ready? Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. How do we bear to see him up past the fallen moon? How do we bear to see him up past the fallen moon? Zainab has fallen, Hussein's back broken. Zainab has fallen, Hussein's back broken. Oh dear uncle, you are our chosen. Oh dear uncle, you are our chosen. Has the fact fallen? Has the fact fallen? And I yell Baba, and I yell Baba. Abbas and Hussein, Abbas and Hussein. No need for water, no need for water. I want my uncle, I want my uncle. You left with 2 arms, you left with 2 arms. Return with no arms, return with no arms. You left with 2 arms, you left with 2 arms. Return with no arms, return with no arms. You left with my wish to bring us water. You left with my wish to bring us water, but not you left my heart broken for you're gone Abbas, you're gone Abbas. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. How do we bear to see him up past the fallen moon? How do we bear to see him up past the fallen moon? Ya Abbas, Ya Abbas, Ya Abbas, Ya Abbas, rhythm, Ya Abbas, Ya Abbas, Ya Abbas. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. How do we bear to see him up past the fallen moon? How do we bear to see him up past the long? Zainab has fallen, Hussein's back broken. Zainab has fallen, Hussein's back broken. Oh dear uncle, you are our chosen. Oh dear uncle, you are our chosen. Has the fact fallen? has the fact fallen. And I yell Baba, and I yell Baba. Abbas and Hussein, Abbas and Hussein. No need for water, no need for water. I want my uncle, I want my uncle. Why is he upon my father's chest? Why is he upon my father's chest? I see my father with Arrow's mother. I see my father with Arrow's mother. Where is his brother? Where is his brother? And I yell Baba, and I yell Baba. Abbas and Hussein, Abbas and Hussein. Where have they gone? Oh, I want my uncle. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Oh, how do we bear to see him, Abbas the fallen moon? How do we bear to see him, Abbas the fallen? Ya Abbas, Ya Abbas, Ya Abbas, Ya Abbas, mashallah. Ya Abbas, 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 Ya Abbas. Take me to Karbala, leave me there. Take me to Karbala, leave me there. 40 take me to Karbala, leave me there, leave me there. Take me to Karbala, leave me. This is a dua. Take me to Karbala, leave me there. Take me to Karbala, leave me there, leave me. Hussein, Hussein, I'm calling Hussein now, beating the chest to ease the pain. I'm calling Hussein now, beating the chest to ease the pain. Bainul Haramain, I lose my voice calling your name. Bainul Haramain, I lose my voice calling your name. Hussein, boy, Hussein, boy, Hussein, boy. Hussein, boy, Hussein, boy, Hussein, boy, Hussein, boy, Hussein, boy. Let's inshallah give our call 3 times together. Labbaik ya Hussein. Labbaik ya Hussein. لبيك يا حسين لبيك يا مهدي Inshallah, hearts in Karbala. If you've been and experienced this, how lucky you are. And inshallah, we all get the chance to go and experience the walk towards Karbala, walk in those beautiful roads and experience the kindness of the lovers of Abdullah, inshallah, as we give this ziyarah and consider ourselves next to those Zawar of Arba'in who've been handpicked and chosen by Abdullah. Inshallah, we pray that we are chosen in the future years, inshallah. Assalamu alayka ya Rasul. Assalamu alayka ya Amir al-Mu'mineen. السلام عليك يا فاطمة الزهراء سيدة نساء. السلام عليك يا حسن المجتبى. السلام عليك يا أبا عبد. السلام حسن على ابن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين وعلى التسعة المعصومين من ذرية الحسين لا سيما بقية الله في أرضه. السلام عليك يا صاحب الزمان الأمان 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 من فتنة الزمان. السلام عليك يا خليفة الرحمن ويا شريك القرآن أجل الله تعالى فرجه الشريف. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. 5 times آية الشريفة أمل يجيب إن شاء الله بالظهور في صاحب الأسر والزمان. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أما يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه ويكشف السوء. 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 لا أرحاه المؤمنين والمؤمنات خصوصا يا المرحومين شهداء غزة, شهداء Parachana, شهداء all around the world of Islam, or ulama, those whose hard work has kept us here, our donors, those who have sponsored, and for these majalis and masajid to be built and to be here today. And khususan for the marhumin of our dear Seyed, our dear scholar, Seyed Abbas, his late teacher, Ayatollah Mujtahid Dirhani, and also his mother and his marhumin and your marhumin inshaAllah. رحم الله من يقرأ الفاتحة مع الصلوات. الله. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله. يعني صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم. Inshallah, as was announced, the Q&A session will be conducted here right after the announcements, inshallah.
على رسول الله وآله اللهم صل على